I know. Okay, we are on Pei Gimel Amud Aleph, 83. Afil b'makom midronami. We've said that if you're moving barrels and they break, so you have to take a shvua. So we said even if it's slanted, fine. Let's say there's no edim, so he has to take a shvua that he was not negligent. But if they're edim, nesi raya v'nifter. Let him bring edim, and to show that he was not negligent. And therefore, why should he take a shvua? And where do we see that witnesses take precedence? We're on Pei Gimel Amud Aleph Abe. The Tanya Isi ben Yudah Omer. It says Umeis onishbar ein roev. If nobody saw how it broke, shvuas Hashem tia bin shneim. He has to take a shvua, implying hayesh roev. If there was somebody who saw it, she'avi raya v'poter. He brings edim and he doesn't have to take a shvua. So Rav Chia bar Ava Rav Yochanan, shvua zu takanos rachamimi. This is not shvua midor. This is a shvua that the Takonim instituted. Shemiyata Omer king. If we don't say that you have to take a shvua to make him potter, nobody will ever do a job for a friend because they're concerned that it's going to break and you'll have to pay for it. Like a good Samaritan law. Now, what shvua does he take? Shvua shlo bekavona shvartia. I didn't break it on purpose. Fine. Yishova, but no, he says yishale. But a shomer sacher should pay because a shomer sacher is chayv for gneva of aveda, right? Each one according to his own din. Hakidinei, hakidinei. Va'as Rabbi Elazar l'meimar in Gemara Rav Meir that we have a tradition like Rav Meir. Miu. But he wonders how he can take a shvu, like we've been learning. I understand a shomachina takes a shvu that he's not a posheya, and then he gets off. A shomer sachar, even if he's not negligent, has to pay. He's chayiv for gneva v'aveda. I feel shomer nami hatinech the malka medrin. Fine. You have to take a shvu if it's a slanted place, it could run away. So he has to take a shvu. Shalom b'malka medrin mimatzim yishtav shlo pasha. Even b'malka medron, can he really take a shvu that he wasn't negligent? I feel b'malka medron nami. Hatinechecha delekarai. Understand if there's no proof. With edim, and even a shomer chinam should bring edim if they're available and not have to take a shvua. The Tanya, Isi ben Yudah Omer, ein roya shvua Hashem tia ben shneim yesh roya yavi raya v'poter. So even, and we paskin that way, even a shomer chinam should bring a raya before he takes a shvua. A person was moving barrels of wine from the market of Mechuzah, and it broke on one of the extensions that extend out of the wall in Mechuzah. Also, Kamei Rava. In that area, there's a lot of people. Zil Aisirai Vipoter, go bring edim that you were not negligent, and you don't have to pay. Amar Rav Yosef, break, come on. Ki'isi? Are you passing like Isi? Amar Lo, in Ki'isi. We held like him. Person told his friend, go buy me 400 jugs of wine. Also Zavinle. He went and bought it. Levasof asla kamei. He brought it and he said, I bought you 400, but they all turned into vinegar. Also kamei Rava. Amarlo. If there were 400 jugs of wine that had become vinegar. Everyone would have known about it. So Zilai Sirai de Mikar Kimzan L'Chamrim Ayav Evi Potter. Go bring Edim that when you bought it, it was good wine, and you won't have to pay without a shvua. Amar Rav Yosef break. Keman Keisi. Is this like Isi? Amar Lo in Keisi Ustriyalon Kavos. We hold like Isi. Asking Rav Chia Bar Yosef in Sichra. Rav Chia made a takona in Sichra. Hani the door ba'agravi it for nishalim palga. They used to schlep things. Two people would carry it on a stick. If it broke, they don't have to pay half. My timer. That stick, nafish l'chad v'zutu l'trei. It's too heavy for one person, and it's too small for two people. So if you carry it by himself, karv l'pshi, it's close to negligent. But it's not regular that two people carry it. So if it's broken, it's karv l'onas. So therefore they divide. But if he carried it bedigla, this is some kind of wood that easily carries double its weight, Mishalim Kula. He has to pay the whole thing because it must be that he was negligent. Or maybe because it was too much for him. Rabba Baruch Chanan Tavru Le'anu Shekulei Chavita Techam. The schleppers broke barrels of wine that belonged to Rabba Baruch Chanan. He took their shirt to get paid back. Also, Rav. So the workers came to Rav and said, why is he doing this? So Rav commanded Rabbah to give back the shirt. Because it says, Leman telech baderech toivim. You should go the good way. So Liyavu Liklimayu gave him the shirt. We're poor. We worked the whole day. We're stonky, and he didn't pay us. Pay them. They broke it for him. So he asked, Amr Dina Hachi, Amr Lei, in V'archat Sadikim Tishmor. That means even though Meikar Adin, the Paulim had to pay for it, but they don't lose their wages. But if they need parnasa, it's a midas chasidus to pay them. New Perek Shvi, you hire workers. He had him wake up early and he had him stay late. So Mokum Shanagu Shalol Hashkim Shalariv, if that's not the minig, Ein Rishal Koifin, he can't force him to do that. Mokum Shanagu Lozun Yozun, if it's the local minig that you fed your workers, you have to feed them. Mokum Shanagu Lasapek Matika, that the minig was to give them some sweets, Yisapek. You give him Akol Keminig Amedina. Ma'aser Rav Yechon ben Masir Shomer Livno. Says Chorlana Paulim. He told his son, go to the local paint store, wherever the workers used to hang out here, and hire workers. Halach upasuk mazonos. And the son promised them food, but he didn't specify how much. And he reported that to his father. Even if you make a suda for them like Shlomo Melech, lo yatsa sidei chovoschem mohem. Shein b'nei Avram, Yitzchak, v'Yakov. They're fit for all covet. Ela shlo yaschil b'mlochat say v'mor lehem al menashe she'en lechem alai ala pas v'kitnius bilvad. Before they start work, make a deal with them that they're only going to get bread and beans, which is the normal suda that was given to the workers. You didn't have to say that. No matter what the son said, everything follows the local custom. Now, the Mishnah said that the balabais cannot force them to work early and late. Pshita, standard hours. Well, of course they can't. Lo tzricha b'mikra d'tfolo agrayu. He added to their wages. Maybe the owner can say, listen, I paid you more, so I can demand that you come to work early and stay late. Kamash Malan, that no, the Amrulay, yeah, you wanted us to work well, but it's not that we automatically agree that we're going to come early. Now, on his way into the city to work, so he pays extra mishalo. But Bitziaso is Michel Balabais. If when he comes into the city, he's subservient to the Balabais, and he's going to stay there till nightfall. When he leaves, and he shows up in the morning, he doesn't have to come early. Just with the sunrise, with Netzachama. Because it says, Tizrach HaShemesh Yeyasofun, V'amanosan Yibotzun Yetzadon L'Polo V'lavodoso Ada Areth. So the work starts with Netz. So a person goes to his work, normally that's the custom with Shkia, with Netz. He works until Shkia. So why did the Mishnah go through the whole thing? See what the minig is, and that's it. What is Reish Lakish telling us here? So Be'ir Chadasha, a new city doesn't have an old minig. So let's see, let's see where the workers came from, and they'll do like the minig of their place. Binikutoi. These are workers that came from multiple different places. Iboy Seima, that this Reish Lakish din is even for a place that has a minig. Elada Amarlu that grituli kapol deraisa. I'm hiring you according to a worker in Torah. So Reish Lakish is coming to tell us in Torah it's from Netzachama. Rav Zeir v'Armile Rav Yosef Darshan Ma'idich Tasha's Choyshef He Laila Bo Tirmos Kol Chaysu Yar. So we darshan Tasha's Choyshef He Laila Ze'ayil Mazeh, which is compared to Doim the Laila. Both Tirmos Kol Chaysu Yar and the Rishon Shabo, like the beasts of the forest. These are the Rishon that are in this world. Shadoim L'Chayiv Shabiyar. They rule the forest in Olam Hazeh. But in Olam Haba, Tizrach Hashemesh Yisofim V'Manosim Tirbatzum, meaning Tizrach Hashemesh L'Tzadikim, the sun will rise for the Tzadikim, Yasofun will be for the Rishonim and Gehenim, V'Ma'oinasam Yirbatzum, Ein Lecha Kol Tzadik B'Tzadik Shein Lo L'Fich Lodo. Every Tzadik in Olam Haba will have according to his honor. Yetzei Olam L'Po'alo, Yetzu Tzadikim L'Kabel Scharam, the Tzadikim will get their reward. Ulavodoso adei erev. That's b'misha hishlim avodoso adei erev. That means he did his avoida that he's supposed to do until the day of his death. That's the drasha. Rav Lezer Rav Shimon ashkech lahu parhugna de kotofis ganvi. He found an officer whose job it was to catch thieves. Lav kachayusim atili. How do you catch thieves? They're like wild animals, because it says both tirmos kol chaysu yar, which apparently is referring to ganovim. Ikademi me'aykra komer le yerav b'mister ka'aryeh b'suko yerav v'chatofani. So the Rishonim are cunning, and Rav Elazar asked this officer, maybe Dilma Shekal Tzadikim V'Shavkis Rushi. Maybe you're catching tzaddikim, putting them into prison where they don't belong, and you're leaving the Rishonim alone. Amalei Umaya Ovid, Hamlet the Malkahu. What am I supposed to do? This is a command from the king that I have to catch thieves. I'm doing the best I can. So Rabbi Elazar said, I'll teach you where you're going to find the Ganavi. All Barbara Chanusa. Go to the market in the 4th hour of the day, like 10 o'clock in the morning. And they sell wine and food. Now, who's bottling around at 10 o'clock in the morning and not at work? You find people drinking, or sitting around and drinking and sleeping. Find out who this is. So, if this is a Talmud Chacham, Agdumi Kodim Legirsa, he has an excuse. He woke up early. He was learning. So now he's relaxing. Ipoilu, if he's a worker, Kodim Ka'avid Avidite, he's already finished his work. V'avidite Balayla Redudi Ridid. If his work is at night, he's a woodcutter. So he has an excuse as well. However, if he's not one of those two, he's a ganav, the top and catch. He steals at night, sleeps in the day. This advice was heard by the palace. It was a good eitzah. Amru Karina de Igda Iu Le Prunka means the one who reads the letter, he should be the mailman. That means this guy who gave a good advice, he should take over the job. You're giving a good eitzah, you're now appointed. So Istyuvi Revolution.
And just Rudai is not a woodcutter, it's a guy who pulls copper or something. It's not the woodcutter. The what we learned before.
It's a
guy works at night. It's
Rashi.
A woodcutter.
Rashi.
It's not a woodcutter.
Yeah, he's some kind of
a copper puller.
He makes thread. He makes copper. Sorry.
Copper thread.
Rashi says, Muta chutin nechoshes barzal. He makes strands of copper and metal.
And apparently they worked at night.
Rashi says, umnosa balayla. He works at night.
Night, yeah. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to disturb.
Yeah. In a chanami. Good. So they told Rabbi Elazar, you have the job. Katov is Ganvi. So he started catching thieves. Vazel. Shalach Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha. Chaymetz b'yayin? So understand. You're like a Rasha compared to your father who's a tzaddik. These are Jews, you're catching them, the king is killing them. So Rabbi Elazar sent back, I'm getting rid of the bad apples. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Korcha sent back, Shalach yavo bala kerem v'chalas kotzon. Let the HaKadosh Baruch Hu do it. You should not be working for the king to do it. So Yomi Chad Pagabeahu Koives. So a certain launderer called out to Rabbi Elazar as well. Kaya Chaimitz Ben Yain. He also called him a Rasha. Omer me the Chatziv Kulahai Shmamin Arishiu. He's so chutzpahdik, he must be a Rasha. And he's called a Talmud Chacham. And he must be a thief. Omer Tafsu. And they caught him, Tafsu, and they adjudicated him to death. So when he settled from how angry he was, Rabbi Elazar had regret. He tried to redeem him, he couldn't. If this launderer would not have said these things, I wouldn't be in such sorrows. And Zakfu, they hung him. Kam tutis kivu v'kabachi. Rabbi Elazar stood next to the tree that they hung him and he cried. Don't be upset. This launderer was a Rasha. They had relations with a Nara Moirasa, which you're not allowed to do, and Yom Kippur, which you're also not allowed to do. So many Averis Chamuris, and this Oynish was Magia him. So Hinech Yodo Bnei Meah v'Omar. He put his hands on his belly and he said, Sisu Bnei Meah Sisu. My intestines are going to be happy. Umas Feika Shalachem Kach. It means I saw that he was chutzpahdik. I saw it was a suffix that he was, it turns out he's a Vadei Rasha. Vadai Shalachem, these kanovim that I'm finding, Alachas Kama V'Kama, that he's doing okay. Muftachani Bachem, he told his intestines, Shein Rima V'Tuleh Shaletz B'Chem. I am sure that you don't have any worms inside of you. A tzaddik gomer doesn't have worms. Still, his mind wasn't settled. He was still feeling guilty that he caused the death of that guy. So he did it as self-experiment. They gave him some anesthesia, some medicine to put him to sleep. And they put him in a marble house where they would do operations because it was sterile there. And they opened up his intestines. They took out buckets and buckets of fat from his belly, and they didn't rot, even in the summer months. And so he proved he was a tzaddik gomer.
It's just crazy. I got it.
So the Gemara says it's not a proof. Called Tarbanami Losriach. Chaylev is pure. It's not going to go, it's going to melt, but it's not going to go bad. So Kol Tarba Losriach Sruk is Sunki Masriach. Yeah, but tendons and other things that are filled with blood will Masriach. In fact, that it didn't Masriach was proof that he was a tzaddik gomer. Hacha Aval Gav de Ikas Sruk is Sunki Lo Masriach. And the fact that they didn't turn rot was a chachacha that he was a tzaddik. My flesh is testimony that I stand in front of Hashem as a tzaddik. Yeah, the wild I got it.
Wait, there's more to come.
Okay, so tomorrow we will learn, God willing, 6:45. Okay?
Okay,
Nah,
thank you very much.